individuals that claim to be abducted by aliens, all of the procedures done on them seem to indicate that the aliens are interested in their DNA. And mothers, or mothers-to-be, are exposed to certain babies that are extracted from them during their pregnancy and later on are presented to them so they could interact and eventually have aliens study the interaction between the mother and the fetus. So apparently, long story short, this seems to be a hybridization program run by the aliens. Now, this has been going on for many years and people are trying to figure out what is the real purpose behind it. And the most likely hypothesis is that what the aliens are doing is that they may be using parts of our DNA that would allow them to be able to live in this planet without having any problems. In other words, oxygen is very, very toxic, especially to the DNA. But we have some special techniques in order for us to be able to counteract that, to protect ourselves and to be able to work around it. Aliens do not have this. So for instance, if they were to live in an oxygen-infested atmosphere, they would quickly develop cancer. In similar fashion, we are very susceptible to radioactivity. Aliens are not. Why? Because their crafts are always leaving residuals of radioactive energy. What I'm trying to say is that if we were to go out in another planet and try to live there, we would have to be able to incorporate that inhabitant's evolution into our DNA, which will allow us to actually live in this planet without having any health hazards. And that may be the reason why they're doing all these hybridization experiments in order to create a species that formally belongs to them, but will be able to survive in this atmosphere. And will be able to eat what is offered from this planet, to be able to function, to be able to see, to be able to hear, and to be able to go about in an environment just like ours.
To any skeptic who says, well, these are just stories, these are just accounts, hell, life is just stories, life is just accounts. The entire criminal justice system, for example, is based on eyewitness testimony. When did we stop thinking eyewitness testimony was important? We put, and rightly so, a vast amount of stock in testimony. Why shouldn't we do so when that testimony comes from someone who says they've seen a UFO or they've had an alien abduction experience?